Mr. Poilievre, very good morning to you.
And good morning to you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Mr. Poilievre, another member of your caucus crossed over to the Liberal Party yesterday. That makes it a total of 3 MPs who have left or have announced the intention to leave over the past 5 weeks or so. Why is the opposition tent shrinking, Mr. Poilievre?
Well, Mr. Carney's engaging in a cynical scheme to try and get a majority government that Canadians denied him. Canadians did not want a costly Carney majority that could raise taxes and drive up debt, and that's why they gave him only a minority. And he's trying to use backroom deals to get around that decision. The member in question, he up until recently was saying that Mark Carney's deficits were out of control, the spending was causing inflation, that the soft on crime laws were making life dangerous. And so now he is being part of all of those problems and going back on what he told his constituents. So as for me, I continue to stand for the same thing. I want this to be an affordable, safe country. And I'm not going to let backroom deals stand in the way of my fighting for that.
Well, Mr. Poilievre, one thing that we've seen, at least during this year under the Carney government, a lot of the things that you and your party were promoting and propagating for, now the Liberal Party and the Liberal government is playing on that field. And that has made, it seems, difficult for the Conservative Party to kind of define itself to Canadians. Because whether it was the carbon tax issue...
When you say playing on that field, what does that actually mean? Does it mean they're doing the things we said, or does it just mean they're saying the things we said?
Yeah, so I mean, that could be open to interpretation, right? So whether it was the MOU with the government of Alberta, the perception that it's building is that, okay, a lot of the things that, people wanted to get done is what this Liberal government is doing. So they have been able to distinguish, this Liberal government has been at least able to distinguish itself from the Trudeau Liberals. Where does that leave you with the maneuvering? Because do you think that now the Liberal government, which had tilted maybe a little too far to the left, is now coming back to the center, or maybe getting into the right spectrum of the political spectrum, which is kind of squeezing the playing field for the Conservatives and for your party? And how would you distinguish yourself from the Carney Liberals now? Because they seem to be doing a lot of the things that you were promoting over the last few years.
Well, I would distinguish myself by saying I'm the real deal. They're saying those things, but they're not doing those things. It's all well and good for Mark Carney to copy my words, but he's not doing the deeds. Let's go through the list. The carbon tax. So I said we should get rid of the entire carbon tax. He got rid of paused the most visible part of it, but he's bringing in new carbon taxes. There's a new fuel tax increase that's kicking in next year, 7 cents a liter. He's got an industrial carbon tax that goes on steel, on aluminum, and other things that we need to make to run farms and build homes that drive up the cost of everything. Or spending. His deficit, he said he was going to spend less, but his deficit is 100% bigger than Justin Trudeau's. It's double the deficit, $78 billion of new debt that's driving up the inflation and the cost of living. For crime. He says he now agrees with me on crime, but he hasn't passed a single crime law into passage. In fact, Liberals have been blocking their own bail bill. They have done nothing on extortion. And so we see 330% increase in extortion. So while they go around saying the same things that we say, they're not doing any of them. So you asked how we would distinguish ourselves. Well, through deeds, we would actually do these things. We would get rid of all of the carbon taxes. We would cut bureaucracy, consultants, foreign aid, and other wasteful spending to bring down the deficit. We would lock up criminals with jail and not bail. We'd bring in mandatory prison sentences for extortion. We'd actually get construction underway on a pipeline, not just sign pieces of paper about pipelines. The difference is in the deed, not in the words.
Mr. Poilievre, your message from last year about Canada is broken. It still echoes in the minds of several Canadians, especially those in the South Asian community, the ones who are facing the extortion crisis. We learned yesterday from the BC Extortion Task Force that they had identified 14 individuals, and just as CBSA initiated an investigation into the inadmissibility of those suspects, they all filed an asylum claim, and now any action CBSA can take against those people could potentially be delayed by several years. What's your response to that?
Well, it is the broken liberal immigration system. They've allowed for people to make delayed refugee claims. We have a solution. We proposed as conservatives that if someone comes here and they want to make a refugee claim, they should make it in the first month after arrival. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't be able to stay here for 2 years and then just before they're about to be deported for criminal conduct, claim that they're suddenly a refugee. Well, if you're a refugee, you would know about it when you first arrive. Secondly, we said get rid of the sentencing discounts for people who commit crimes who are not Canadian citizens or permanent residents. Right now, they get a lower sentence so that they can stay in Canada. We want to get rid of that, give them the full sentence, and after their prison time is up, they must leave the country. That's how we're going to fix the broken liberal immigration system and return it to the side of the law-abiding people.
Mr. Poilievre, at the beginning of this year, it seemed like a foregone conclusion that you were poised to form a government, you were poised for great electoral success. But in a stunning reversal of political fortunes, we know how things have panned out. When you look back at 2025, how would you define 2025 for you?
Well, look, in some ways, we won the debate. We didn't win the election. We won the debate on inflation, on carbon taxes, on crime, on natural resources, drugs. And we have to keep winning the debate, but also make clear that the only way we're going to implement those solutions that Canadians want is with a new conservative government. Having a counterfeit party pretending to believe in our words is not going to cut it. We need the real deal. And the second thing I would say is we need to provide hope to people. People feel hopeless, like things can't get better. And I want people to know there is hope. We can fix these problems. These are all government-made problems, and with a change in government, we can fix them.
Are there any lessons that 2025 has taught you, Mr. Poilievre?
Yes, I think we have to focus even more on affordability. I was just speaking to a senior today in the GTA, and she said, look, I feel anxious when I go to a grocery store. She used to love to shop, because she'd come home and she'd make beautiful meals, and she was excited about all the fresh produce she could pick up. Now she says it's so expensive. She walks out of there angry and worried that she won't be able to make it through the month. And so we have to focus relentlessly on reversing liberal inflation at the grocery store, making it affordable for people to have nutritious, delicious meals.
Mr. Poilievre, at the turn of the calendar in the new year, you also face a leadership review in the month of January. How confident are you that the members of the party are going to rile up or rally behind you and support you to continue as the leader of the Conservative Party?
I feel good about it. I'm the only person who's going to bring forward the promise of Canada, that anybody who works hard gets a good life in a nice, affordable home, decent food, living on a safe street. That's my mission, and that's what I want. That's what I had for my own upbringing. That's what I want for all Canadians. So that's what I think Conservatives will vote for in January, and Canadians will vote for in the next election.
Mr. Poilievre, we wish you all the very best for the holiday season, and Merry Christmas to you, and Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, my friend. All the very best.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.